First Lady Melania Trump made a rare and rather unexpected public statement. She spoke out about what she says are false claims about her and notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Let's bring in Scripps News Group's senior congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed this morning to talk about this. Hey, good morning, Nate. Good to see you. So how does the First Lady's comments last night tie into the ongoing congressional investigation? And could this lead to the public finally learning the names of people on that Epstein list?
Hey, good morning, Michelle. Great to see you as well. Look, there's a lot more questions than answers coming out of that statement. That surprise statement, by the way, from the First Lady of the United States to a room of surprised reporters at the White House. Questions about whether this could lead to testimony from some of the accusers of Jeffrey Epstein and whether we could finally learn the names of some of those co-conspirators, which up to this point have remained behind closed doors. There was a hope that the Epstein Files Transparency Act, that bill that passed nearly unanimously through Congress, would release some of those names publicly. Ultimately, the women who have accused Jeffrey Epstein coming out with a joint statement, 16 of them in the hours after Melania Trump made that statement yesterday, saying in part, quote, First Lady Melania Trump is now shifting the burden onto survivors under politicized conditions that protect those in power. Again, the First Lady making that surprise statement from the White House, calling on Congress to hold public hearings. Take a listen.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony.
And again, major questions about whether that really could happen. The top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, which has been investigating Jeffrey Epstein, endorsing that call from the First Lady, saying he's willing to hold that hearing. There's a hope that if these women are under oath, they can then say the names of some of these men without the possibility of any lawsuits against them for raising these names. This is one of the areas that have been under consideration, the question of whether they could do this on Capitol Hill. There's concerns about lawsuits from some of the possible co-conspirators, accusations of libel against these women. The top Republican, though, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee and House Speaker Mike Johnson, have not yet weighed in on this request. Certainly, this could make things more complicated for them on Capitol Hill with an issue that Republican leadership has often sought to swat away. Questions about where things go from here, Michelle. Still, so much is unclear after that surprise statement from the First Lady yesterday.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But thank you so much, Nate, for all the context. We always appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Michelle.